the one with like really crystalline? No.
No, this is the original.
Top.
Top.
Oh, this part's sad.
Oh, I thought that was on there too.
Oh.
Breathe. Just watch it go. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Or the one. I never took it. I'll be asking for a test.
That's the part I was talking about. It. Don't worry about that.
What do you think? My solution. Stop.
Alright. And as touching as his death scene is, it's not important to my presentation. But essentially what happened was Khan, this is the Wrath of Khan, Star Trek. Khan created this device that was going to blow up the ship, the Enterprise essentially, and no human could stop it. But because Spock was different, he was a Vulcan, he was able to repair the warp drive before it killed him. And the biggest part here is the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. So, in what cases can the idea that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few be applicable? We'll open this up for a couple of
I know we studied collective societies. Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah.
And like a lot of collective societies, they focus on, rather than the goals of the individual has to sacrifice for the family or something like that, and that happens in a lot of like Asian countries or like South American countries, and that's just what that reminded me of.
Taylor?
It's kind of like the whole, it reminds me of this scenario where it's like you're on a platform, there's a train track underneath, and the only way to save the train from crashing is by pushing this man off, or all the children in the train die kind of thing. So
Right.
it's like that.
Rachel?
I was going to apply to like a real world thing where the 9/11 when the firefighters risked their lives to get out of the building.
Yeah. That's a good one. Okay, so kind of a bit of a leap here, but stem cell research is a very controversial subject where sometimes, especially with embryonic stem cell research, they create an embryo and then they essentially destroy it to get the stem cells because they have the potential to be any specialized human cell. So they could grow a heart or a limb or something like that to save another person's life. So that's that. That brings me to my actual question, is to what extent should scientists be allowed to temporarily suspend ethics for the advancement of science? We'll discuss this in a little bit because I have a couple of examples that we'll talk about. So what exactly is the advancement of science? Advancement, according to Merriam-Webster, is progression to a higher stage of development. So I took that and created my definition, because I couldn't find an actual definition anywhere, which is moving forward in scientific fields for the improvement of mankind. In Wired magazine, it's a cool scientific magazine thing, they had 7 experiments that would change the face of science if they weren't so wrong. So I picked 2 of those and want to discuss those. First one is brain sampling. They essentially, while the subject is still alive, cut open their head, and this is all done with anesthetic and everything. And they take some of their brain cells, like a small sliver of their brain, to study. And the patient, assuming there's no infection, leaves with minor brain damage. So, but what they essentially can do is they can test to see, like, if watching a lot of television, changes the way your brain's neural pathways work and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that they can get from looking at a live person's brain cells and the genetics that are in that. And clearly it's wrong because it's brain damage. So ethics say that that's not right. Embryo mapping is they would insert a tracker into an embryo, a live human embryo, to see how it develops and stuff like that. And they can discover which developmental switches turn on the specialization in cells. And that can help scientists repair cellular damage and treat diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and things like that, which right now are things that they're really looking for as far as cures. The two ways of looking at ethics are the deontological and utilitarian. You have the deontological is based on rules and the right thing to do. And it's what kind of world would it be if everyone did this or that? So in the case of the brain sampling, the right thing to do is to not hurt the other person, and so you wouldn't do it. So the deontological way of looking at ethics would be saying that brain sampling is wrong. Utilitarian is the good brought about and the results. And essentially this is the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And that would be like saying, for brain sampling, it would be saying because of all of the things that we can discover through this, ethically it is correct. And so that brings me... Okay, well, I have another slide.
Can someone click with the mouse, please?
I wanted to talk about, don't worry about it, it's fine. Dr. Mengele. A lot of you may not know his name, but you know his experiments. He was the Nazi doctor who experimented on twins. And ethically, for them, it was ethically right because they felt like they were bettering society by doing this research and how we can improve or not improve humans, which we look back on that now and we say that was a horrible atrocity, bad. So that's something else that you run into is looking back on it on the past. And then I'll just go back this way. Okay, my question. It's open for discussion if anyone wants to raise their hand. Sly and then Taylor.
Okay, well, see, this makes me think of this like weird video game that I play. And I feel like this is brings up such a deeper question, like what is the meaning of life? Because the meaning of life for humans to advance so far to the point of almost quote unquote godlike status. And I mean that's why I think that's what I think as well.
Okay, for me, no scientific advancement is worth a human life. And I get that these advancements might save lives in the future, but you don't know if they will. You don't know for sure if taking those brain samples will get you anything. It's just a theory that the scientists have, and they have research to back it up, but they don't know for sure what their results are going to be. So risking a human's mental functioning or risking a human's life with the